Hi everybody, this is a video to show you how to take through Design Space this new advent calendar, which is basically 24 little tuck-in boxes that sit in a tray, and you've got 4 different shapes of house, 4 different heights of tree, and a central church for the Christmas Eve spot. If I can just cycle through some pictures, you can see there, yeah, 4 designs of house, 4 sizes of tree, and a central church sit within a 25mm or 1-inch deep tray. And of course, you could use all these houses and the trees and everything independently of this advent calendar, couldn't you? There are the trees. They do have that square section on the bottom, which looks a little bit odd, but that goes into the tray. So all you see peeping out of the tray is the pointy bit, and they actually do look quite pretty. And you don't have to make them out of white paper, of course, like I have done. You could choose some nice Christmas tree type print, couldn't you, for yours? So all the trees are 28mm, just over 1-inch square, and then you've got 4 different heights: 85mm, just over 3.3 inches, 105mm, 4.1 inches, 130mm, just over 5 inches, or the tallest one is 150mm or 6 inches tall. So lots of different sized gifts you could put in there. All the buildings are tuck-in boxes, as I've said, and the trees are as well. Those are the 4 kinds of buildings. You've got house number 1, 2, 3, and 4 going up in size, and there's the church. And I won't go through all those dimensions. This picture will be on the Etsy sales listing, so you can look at that at your leisure. But the church is really very big, so that would be a pretty spectacular advent gift. Maybe that would be for the whole family or something. And then the houses are obviously different sizes, as you can see there. The houses are actually all a decent size. You'd get a nice gift even in the smallest one in house number 1. There's just a close-up of them all sitting in the tray. And another one, the base, as that caption there says, I've designed it so it can be cut either from tabloid or A3. So if you can't get A3 where you are, or if you can't get tabloid where you are, you can probably get the other. So hopefully everybody will be able to make this, but of course, to make the base, you do need the long mat. It's a big piece. And there it is lit up, because the idea is that as you go through the days and you take the gift out of the houses, at least, the trees won't light up unless you can find some lights to go in them, but I couldn't find any small enough. But as you empty the house, you can pop a little LED tea light in there and light up the village as it goes. And then if you want to keep it up for a while after Christmas, it still looks really pretty on the side there. Okay, so let's go into Design Space and we'll see how to cut it. Right, I've just opened Design Space and it's done an update as I've opened it. So I'm just hoping that there are no little unexpected occurrences after that, but we'll have a go anyway. So a new project, and I'll upload and I'll bring in, and they are in my library already somewhere, but I'm going to bring them in from scratch, and then you can see. So upload, browse, and then you would navigate to where they are on your system. It's come up already for me because I seem to have been cutting these constantly for the last few days. Advent Village Base, that's what we're going to look at first. So you just press continue with this window and then upload. It is a cut file SVG, so there's no work that you need to do with it. I'll just zoom out a little. It lands on your canvas. It's already selected, so all we need to do is ungroup it. One little thing that I do ask you to do in the instructions, we'll just go and have a quick look at those. This is the first page of the instructions. You do get this size information in all of them, and it's just a good idea to make sure that when you bring it onto your canvas or into Silhouette Studio, whatever you're working in, that everything is the right size. So for every file, and there are 10 in this bundle, you're given the sizes it should be in centimeters and inches. So always take a look at the first page of your instructions when you're bringing it into your software to make sure that the files are the right size. So it's telling me there that the base should be 89.93 centimeters wide, and I think it was, yeah, perfect, 89.93. So it landed on the canvas, we ungrouped it. That meant we could see inside it those 2 subgroups. And the first thing you have to do with any multi-part SVG that's got score lines is you have to convert the lines to scores. We can't make them come into Design Space already set to score. It's not like an Access project. You just have to do that little step yourself, but it's super quick. So all you need to do is just click in your layers panel. I'm on the PC version, desktop version for PC. So you just click on the layer or the group that contains only lines. You can see that that one there has coloured pieces in it. That's just got lines. So you know those are the lines you need to convert. And in my SVGs, they're always right at the top. So click on it to select it. Go over here, top left to the operations menu. It's currently set to basic cut. We can't make it come in any other way. So click on basic cut and choose score from the drop down, and you can see that they've been converted now. And because there's more than one set, we have to ungroup them. For me, ungroup is just at the top of the layers panel there. Then you're going to select the group underneath. All we need to do there is ungroup. Those are the cut pieces. And so now everything on screen, excuse me, is a separate piece, and we can attach individual scores to individual pieces. Quickest way to do that is to click on canvas somewhere near a piece, drag a box to more or less enclose it. You don't always need to go all the way around, and attach, which for me is at the bottom of the layers panel. We need to do that for every piece on screen that has score lines. I'm just going to take that one out of the way, and then I can get to that one. The front page of instructions tells you what all these pieces are. So I'm not going to tell you now because it's not really relevant to the thing we're doing at the moment, but do look at the instructions. It tells you what every single piece of the SVG is, and exactly, then you'll be able to match it up to an instruction in the PDF. One thing the PDF does say, we'll just go back there. It gives you, I also give diagrams of all the SVGs telling you which is which. And on this one, you can see, let me just take those guidelines here. It says cut 2 of this piece. So that's solid lozenge shaped piece. They 1, 2, 3, 8-sided piece there. We need 2 of those. So back to Design Space, I'm just going to click on that and duplicate it. Otherwise, everything is exactly what we need. We don't need to do any more duplication. So if we click Make It, don't need to save it, I've already got it somewhere. I said you need the long mat. It's a big piece, there's no getting away from that, but you can choose tabloid or A3. So if you're in the US and you can't get A3, you can choose tabloid, and if you do that, you'll need 5 sheets or 4.5 sheets anyway. And if you're on A3 in Europe, you will need, yeah, there's no way to squeeze it up, the same, 5.5, just the same. The reason you cut 2 of that plain piece is because when you assemble it, you put 1 inside the tray to start with, and then you flip it over and put 1 on the bottom. It's just to make it a little bit stronger. And if you've got something like poster board maybe to cut that inner one out of, it would make your tray even stronger. Just depends what you're putting in your advent calendar really. If you know it's going to be really heavy, it might be an idea to try and make the base just that little bit stronger if you can. Right, so that's cutting the base. It came in at the right size, and you need 4.5 sheets of whatever you're using and the long mat. I'm not going to cut it, so we'll press cancel and I'll get rid of that. And so now we'll just look at, we don't need to look at all the houses, I don't think. It's no need to do that. They all work in exactly the same way. So we'll just go browse, and I'll bring in house number 1. Again, just upload, don't need to do anything to change it. 38.61, I'm just going to make sure that's come in at the right size. House number 1, 38.61, perfect. So the update is doing quite well on that front so far. Okay, so as before, it comes in already selected. All we need to do to start with is ungroup it. That lets us see those 2 internal groups. The top one contains the lines that you need to convert to score, so select it, operations menu, choose score, and there's more than one set. You can see there are 2 pieces there with score lines, so we've got to ungroup it. And so then we can just select that group underneath that's got the cut pieces in it and ungroup. And then we can attach individual sets of scores to the individual pieces. Drag a box to select just one piece and its scores and attach. And there's the house. Okay, so these pieces here are the vellum that you would use to line the windows with, so that if you do, well, it hides your gift anyway, for sure. You want to do that, don't you? But then if you do choose to fill it with a night light, it just gives a lovely glow to the house rather than being able to see the little electric LED inside your house. So those grey blue pieces cut from vellum. This cuts from whatever you want to cut it from. We've already attached it. I've left the roof and the door separate, and I've put those in a different colour, just in case when you make yours, you want to make yours with different coloured doors for every house on the calendar maybe, and different coloured roofs for everything. So I won't change that now. It's easy to change. I'll show you what you would do. All you do is, here's your colour sync menu, and if you decide that you want that red to be the same as the colour that we've used for the house, you just drag it into that same group like that, and then everything that you want to cut from, if you were cutting it from white like I did, would be changed to the same colour. We won't do that for now. In the PDF of instructions, if I can just go there and scoot to the back page, at the bottom here I tell you that if you want to make exactly what I've made, if you want to make exactly this layout, I tell you that you need 3 of house 1, 4 of house 2, 4 of house 3, 2 of house 4, and so on. So if you want to make exactly what I've made, refer to that instruction there. If you decide you want to use all the big houses or all the steeped roof houses, then that's what will dictate how many you cut of each house. So I'm not even going to step these up. These, obviously, they're tiny. They will all cut now. Every piece of the house, the vellum and the roof and the door and the actual house will cut from the tiniest thing you can choose. So obviously, if you're cutting more than one, put them all on your canvas at the same time, and then you'll use up the maximum amount of the paper that you're using. So that is how to take a house through, and look at the instructions if you want to match my design. So all the houses work in exactly the same way, and in fact the church does too, but we'll just bring that in just in case, but it does, I'm pretty sure. So we'll just, okay, I think we're back up and running now. I don't know what the issue was there. It might be the update, it might be something to do with my internet connection, but I doubt it. But anyway, I think we're going again. So upload image, browse, Advent Village Church. Good, there it is. A little bit different, of course, because this has the spire, doesn't it? I'd forgotten about that. So we'll just zoom out. Same as usual, it lands on your canvas selected, so just ungroup it. That lets you see the 2 individual groups inside, and the top one in the layers panel contains the lines you need to convert to score. Click on Basic Cut in the Operations menu and choose Score from the drop-down. And because there's more than one set, in this file it's on 3 pieces, we need to ungroup. Then select the group underneath, which has just got the cut pieces in it, and ungroup that. And then all we need to do is select one piece and its scores and attach, just like we did with the other things. So with this one, I've done the roof and the spire and the door in one colour, and the main building in another colour, just in case you want to differentiate it that way. And again, this bluey grey colour is the vellum that goes behind the windows inside. And again, if you want to have everything cut out of one colour like I did, just click on a colour and drag it into the same group as another one. Okay, but we'll leave it like that for now. This will, yeah, that might be a little bit too big for, I think that needs 12 by 12 now, so we'll just see. So obviously those tiny bits of vellum, you'll be able to pick A4 or letter. You can see them both in the list there. You'll only cut one church for each Advent calendar. If you were cutting the roof and the spire and the door in different colours, again, you could choose a very small piece indeed to cut those. That will go on there. I don't know why it's moved it. So I would click move and put it, oh no, look at that, it won't. Okay, so what we would do then, we'll just choose A4. There they are on one mat. And this one, yeah, I think you're going to have to choose Right, you even have to choose A3 for that one. I didn't realize that when I'd made it. I always work on A3, so it's not something I look at. But yes, you need A3 or tabloid to cut the church. But since we need the long mat and A3 or tabloid for the base anyway, it's not a big ask. It's just one more thing that you need to cut out of that larger paper. You could, of course, reduce the whole thing down, but then your smallest tree would end up really quite small indeed. So I wouldn't recommend going smaller. If anything, if you might want to go bigger, but then the church would be massive. I like it at the size it is. I wouldn't recommend reducing it down. So for the church, A3 or tabloid as well. Now, if you were cutting, let's just go back and let's look at the colour sink again, and we'll drag that into the same group as the church. We know the tabloid's going to cut from something, we know the vellum's going to cut from something very small, and if we choose A3, I think that little thing, it puts it on 2 mats, but you can see that the space there, can't you? So you would cut the whole church then out of one A3. What would happen if you choose tabloid? Yep, it'll all go on one sheet of tabloid as well, if it's all in the same colour. Right, so we've looked at, because I split the video, I'm just having to remember now, we've looked at the base and the houses. One house, they all cut the same, and that's the church. I'm not going to cut it. So we'll just very quickly bring in one of the trees. Again, there are 4 different sizes of tree, but they all behave in exactly the same way. We'll bring tree D in, which is the biggest one. They're all the same width, of course, because the holes are the same size, so you can put any tree anywhere you like on the advent calendar. This is a little bit different. All we need to do here is open that group. Well, actually, no, we'll undo. You can, oops a daisy. There it is. So it lands on, you can still ungroup it like that, and then select the top group, change it to score, but then because it's a single piece file, all you need to do is select everything and attach. There's no ungrouping, obviously, because there's only one cut and one score. So then that's very small. That will definitely cut from A4 or letter, but of course you would need, again, if you want to do my layout like we looked at before on the instructions, you would need the tallest trees are at the back there. You'd need 4 of them if you were cutting that. But I don't think there's any point in me showing you putting these trees up on different sheets of paper, because you will probably design your own calendar, won't you, and decide which sizes of house and tree you're going to put where. So if we just snip back to design space, I don't need to cut that. I think I've shown you everything now. We've looked at the tray, the church, the house, and the trees. Yes, I think that's it. It is a PDF of written instructions for this job. It's I did start to film it and things just kept going wrong, and I was getting nowhere with it, and I want to get the file out. So it's a written PDF of instructions this time, but it is really detailed. I'll just let you have a quick look at it. The very front page, you get a diagram of all the different SVGs that are in there with the right sizes there should be. You do get instructions there of how to take it through Design Space, but there will be a link to the video there. And then it's a photograph for every single little step that you need to take. It's pretty foolproof. It's not difficult to make anyway. You do just need to be a little bit painstaking with the pointy spire and the pointy trees, but the houses and the tray, they're super simple. It's a lovely, impressive project, I think, once you've finished it. And the idea is that hopefully it's one you'll keep and bring out again next year. You won't just make it for this year and then throw it away. Be a lovely gift for somebody, a lovely thing to keep in your family home. I am going to think about creating a print then cut version of it later on. If I do that, I'll sell the print then cut files as an add-on. I won't include it all in the one SVG because I think it would make it a little bit too expensive, and I know some of you will want to make your own print and cut project for it anyway. Okay, if you've got any questions when you come to cut or assemble it, please don't hesitate to get in touch. As always, the links to do that are in the description below. You can contact me on Etsy or Facebook, whichever you prefer. And if you've just stumbled across this video and you'd like to buy the SVG, there'll be a link in the description for that as well. don't forget, if you're purchasing 3 or more SVG files at one time from the Tanglecrafts Studio Etsy shop, the link is in the description, you can use the 30 for 3 discount code to get 30% off your total purchase. This offer runs all the time, but you need to use that code when you check out. And if you haven't already joined the Tanglecraft Studio Facebook group, join now to get any special Etsy discount codes issued to group members and to take advantage of the free SVG files I give away in the group from time to time. The link to the group is in the description. I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.